Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the Tiesfong C10S 1080p dash cam. I am going to let you know right up front that GearBest did send me this for review. They did not give me any money, but they sent me the product. And I will, as always, give you my honest opinion and give you both the good and the bad. So this is something that they sort of decided to, hey, can you review this? I didn't pick it out. And I was like, yeah, okay. But now that I have it in my hands and I've tried it in my car, because I do actually review these products, I'm thoroughly impressed. I am very impressed with this. I like it a lot, and I like the form factor. I want you to stay tuned, because later on in this video I got a lot of footage of it outside my windshield, you know, looking while I'm driving, and I put it in the back also so you can sort of see behind me. So lots of cool footage of it actually in use, but there is a lot going for this unit because of its form factor. This dash cam does run about $69.33 from GearBest, and that is the lowest price on the internet right now for this particular dash cam. And I provided a link in the description box below if you're interested. Please use that link and support my channel, and also support GearBest, because they provide us these products pretty cheap compared to most other places, and they are a pretty good company in my opinion. You get a manual. This is a lot of the packing that they had in the box to keep things from moving around. I've already had it out. This is a micro USB to USB adapter, which I don't use because I already have a lot of those, and the actual plug to plug it in. This goes into your cigarette lighter port in your car, and on this side you have a mini USB, not a micro USB, so that's sort of the bigger of those two little ones. I wish they used the micro. I prefer the micro because that's more common and usually what cell phones have. So that's my first thing I don't like about this product that I'm letting you know honestly. So check out this unit. One thing that they did not provide, another thing they did not provide out of the box with this product is a memory card. Now this can handle up to 32 gig card, one of these little tiny little SD cards, and it has to be class 10 or above. Now luckily these SD cards are getting pretty cheap. I happen to have a 16 gig class 10 or better here already handy, and that's what I used to test this with. So you put it into this slot right here. You want the contacts facing the same side as the screen, and you just sort of pop it down in there. I'm gonna have to shift this to my face here so I can see it, and you gotta press it, and as you can see, you really gotta like use your fingernail and get it down in there until it clicks in place, and you'll know, you see how it's still popped up? You gotta get it down in there. So there's another thing that's a little tricky, letting you know right up front, but once you get it in there, you're not gonna really have to mess with it too much. So there we go, it clicked. So you really got to get it in there good. Alright, so let's talk about some of the features and the form factor that really sold this in my eyes. One thing is the lens. You have a 6-element lens that gives you a 170-degree field of view, and it rotates 360 degrees. I mean, that is really, really handy. And I'm going to demonstrate why that's handy when I show you the videos in the car of this thing actually operating. It has a image sensor that's 3 megapixels. It's the AR0330, and this unit has a Novatek chipset. Maximum resolution of this guy is 1080p at 30 frames a second, and it saves everything as far as the snapshot pictures in JPEG format. Display, you get a very nice 2-inch LCD screen. I had to peel the plastic off. Functions, this has loads of functions, and we'll go through, and I'm going to take you through those really quick, but you could do the looping, you could do the motion detection, it has time lapse, you have the G sensor, so If it senses a jolt, if you activate it, if it senses a jolt, it'll automatically save that clip, because you could sort of set how long you want each clip as it saves it onto your memory card. And if it senses a jolt during a particular clip, it'll save it so you don't have to remember, and it won't write over it as your card fills up and then starts writing over your oldest one. That's what the looping is all about. It has a speaker. Where's this? It does have a speaker. It does have mics in here, so you could actually play back and listen. And also it has the mic because it can do audio as well as record the video out of that really nice lens. By the way, I noticed, you see that purplish tinge right there? That means that's an anti-reflective coating on the lens. Again, it's glass 6 element. That's a pretty good lens for a unit of this price range. Some of these guys got a capacitor for power inside. This one has a 300 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery inside, so it can run a little while if you take the power cord off. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and you can sort of see. You press and hold the power button right there, and you can see it come, and it comes on really quick, and you can see that it automatically goes into screensaver, so it doesn't use up power. And also, when you have this running in your car, you don't really need to look at it once you get used to playing with it. But you can see right there, really nice, easy to read screen. And again, this would be facing out of your car. It would be mounted up, high up on your window, and it's out of the way. It's concealed very well. It's not obstructing your view. All those things are very important when it comes to these dash cams. The power supply that I showed you, the plug, and this guy here, that's going to supply at 5 volts at 1.5 amps, and it plugs into the plug right there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I want to demonstrate something. So you press and hold that same button, turns it off. I'm going to go ahead and plug in some power into this guy, and you'll see as soon as I plug it in, it will automatically power up. Now this is kind of important because your accessory port on your car, when you first start it up, will get power, and it'll just turn it on, so you don't have to remember to turn it on. It's already recording, as indicated by that little red dot blinking right there and there. So really cool. Now you notice when this turned on, the screen stayed on, but when it was working off just the battery, it didn't. So it sort of knows when it's running off the battery and when it's not. So let's go ahead and run through some of the menus. I'm going to go ahead and stop this from recording. So I'm going to hit this record button right there. You can see the red dot came off. And then you have some buttons up here. These buttons allow you to do quite a few things. When this thing is operating and recording, this button you could take a snapshot. This button you could sort of tell it to save a clip in case of an emergency. And you have the mic on, off. When it's like this, when it's not recording, this will flip the screen. It's kind of hard to tell. Like if I put it this way, you can see it actually flip the screen. But when it's recording, this will turn on and off the mic. And let me just show you that real quick. We'll go ahead and start it recording, and then watch the mic when I press the mic button. See how it puts a line through there? So now it's not recording audio. Hit it again, now it's recording audio. So really neat features. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop recording so we could sort of just quickly run through the menu system. Again, bear with me. Lots of good video coming up with this thing in action. So I'm going to hit this button right here, and it sort of takes you into the menu system, and you use these up and down buttons here to sort of cycle through resolution. You could set your looping. Just to show you what that looks like, I'll go ahead and press the far right button here, and you could select, in this case, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Let's run down here. You could set it to your WDR, which is a more higher definition type of recording. You could adjust your exposure values, turn on motion detection. Let's go into that menu just so you could sort of, so you could see that. Again, we'll go down here and then select it with the button all the way to the right up here, and you could turn it on and off. I have it off right now. You could select audio, recording, date timestamp, so you can set up the day and time whether you want it on. This unit does not have GPS. The software has, it's still in there in the firmware, but it's not there, so it'll tell you this doesn't have GPS when you go in there. You could set up your G sensor and its sensitivity. And you could set up time lapse, which is pretty cool. So if you go on a long trip, you could just sort of document as you go across the country or something like that, and use it maybe in a YouTube video later or something like that. It'd be pretty cool. Alright, normally you would put it somewhere behind your mirror where it wouldn't be showing up much at all. But I have my other DVR or dash cam right here. So I just went ahead and put it here just for demonstration. Lens, look how cool that is. You could sort of have it outside there, or it's 360 degree. I could turn it around and have it look at me. You can see there by the screen. And what's really cool is, let's say you are a Uber driver, you could go ahead and have this turned around, so you know, if you have a passenger getting unruly or something and you want to record it to cover your butt in the court of law, you can do that. So this is kind of neat that it has that capability of the 360 degrees that, you know, you wouldn't consider a plus, except, you know, in that case. So kind of cool. Again, I just sort of put it here instead of here just so you could see it for demonstration purposes, so you could see the screen. But you could sort of have it where the screen would just sort of barely be here. You could have it hidden somewhere behind the mirror, or have it here somewhere out of the way. I just put it in a stupid place here. So if this were an Uber car, like I was saying before, I could sort of have it tip like that. You can sort of see your passengers. You know, maybe you have one up here, or you have them sort of stuffed back there. Works pretty good. You can even tip the lens up and down. It pivots really nice. Got the Thomas Johnson Bridge coming up, so we'll go ahead and turn it around there so you can get a nice view. So what do you think? I'll tell you what I think. I can't make a short video to save my life, but you know, when I get a product and I get passionate about it, I just want to obsess, and that's why I call it Gear Obsession Channel, and talk about the thing until I've just exhausted myself on the product. I like this. Now, this form factor might not be perfect for you. It all depends on your vehicle. I mean, you could sort of tuck this behind the windshield or behind your rear view mirror, but you wouldn't see the screen, but only this little guy would be sticking out, you know, or you could have it, you know, out from behind your rear view mirror. However you want to set it up, whatever works best for you. Or this form factor might not work at all. You know what you got. You know your vehicle. You know what dash cam, or the fancy word car DVR, whatever, is good for you. You know, it's and this also comes down to preference. You know, now I like things that, you know, don't have a lot of shininess and are mostly black, so they're hard to see when you're looking at them from outside the car. So there's really not much to see. Just at this tiny strip of chrome right there. I wish that was not shiny chrome. You could always take a Sharpie and just sort of black that out. If I were leaving this particular one in my car, I would black out that little piece of chrome around there so it doesn't glare outside, and this would be more or less unnoticed. I like the anti-reflective lens, so it's really can remain very hidden from outside of your vehicle. So, do I recommend this? I gotta tell you, I definitely recommend it, especially for the cheapest price on the internet. Today, when I did the searching, $69.33 on GearBest, free shipping unless you want to get expedited shipping of some sort. It does have to come from China. Keep in mind, they have holidays. You have holidays in wherever country that you're ordering this from, and airlines can have problems and things like that, especially when there's solar flares and things going on. You know, a lot of those fires that just sort of happen. You know, get into that. Learn about the sun. But speaking of sun, very good in low light. I'm sorry I didn't demonstrate it, but there's some other videos out there on YouTube you could look at. Look those up. But very, very good unit for the price, and very well made, and a very good, unique form factor. And don't forget, if you're a Uber driver or you want to video things that are going into the car, again, that's where that lens that turns around comes in so freaking handy. It's great. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you, even though it says no today. And I hope you have a good day or evening. Take care. Bye.